Hi everyone, in this video we are going to be talking about averages, which is a very common type of exam question in any maths exam, particularly exams such as the 11 plus. So we need to be very confident with averages. So let's start by talking about the 4 key words that come up when we're talking about averages. Okay, so averages involve us looking at data, information, and being able to work out those 4 key words. So we've got mean, mode, median, range, and what you need to be able to do is look at some data and say, well, the mean of this data is, the mode of this data is, the median of this data is, and the range of this data is, and give the correct answer. Okay, can be a little bit tricky, but with a bit of practice it should come fairly straightforward eventually. Now, the only thing that might go wrong is we might mix up some of these words, okay, and some of these concepts, we might mix them around. For example, with the lessons that I've been having with some of the face-to-face students, some of them have been calculating the mean when they were supposed to be calculating the mode, and vice versa, and stuff like that. So key here is really making sure that we understand the definition of each word and not mixing them up. Okay, so let's have a look at an example. On the screen, we've got some data. Data just means information, okay? And it says, here are the math scores of 5 students from year 5. And we can see we've got 5 students, Bryony, Desmond, George, Harris, and Leah. And underneath, it tells us what they got in their math scores. So we've got 9 correct answers, 11 correct answers, 9, 14, 12. Okay, so this is data. And what you need to be able to do is look at the data and work out what the mean is, what the median is, what the mode is, and what the range is. How do we do that? Well, on the screen, I've written out the definitions. So to find the mean, we add all values and divide by the number of values there are. So what I'm going to do is, rather than read through every definition, I'm going to read one definition at a time, and I'm going to show you how we do it. So I've just read the definition for mean. We add all the values and divide by the number of values there are. What does that mean? Well, we've got 5 values, 9, 11, 9, 14, and 12. We need to add them all together and divide by how many values we have. So how many values do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 values, okay? So first step, let's add them all together. So we've got 9 correct answers, plus 11, plus 9, plus 14, plus 12. Okay, now, if you're very confident with adding in your head, that's great, but it might be worth just jotting something down on paper just to make sure you're correct, okay? If you're not super confident with mentally adding, don't take any chances and do it all in your head. If you are very confident with adding in your head, brilliant, but honestly, make sure it's so important to make sure that we're correct, because if we add them all together wrong, it doesn't matter what we do after that, we're going to get the wrong answer. Okay, so we've got 9 plus 11 is 20, 20 plus 9 is 29, 29 plus 14 is 43, 43 plus 12 is 55. So I've added them all together and I've got the answer 55. So we add all our values, we get 55. And then we divide them by the number of values that we have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we divide by 5. Okay, 55 divided by 5. Probably don't need the bus stop method for this, but let's just do it to make sure. Okay, so bus stop, 55 divided by 5. Okay, how many times does 5 go into 5? It goes once. How many times does 5 go into that 5? It goes once. We've got our answer at the top there. The answer is 11. So the mean score is 11. And that's it. That's how we find out the mean. Okay, so we've done the mean. Let's move on to the mode. The mode is probably the easiest one. It's the data that appears most often, the value that appears most often. Okay, so can you see we've got 9 here and we've got 9 here. 9 appears twice. 11, 14, and 12 only appear once. So 9 appears most often. So the mode of this data is 9. Then we've got the median. The median requires us to arrange the values from smallest to largest and then find the middle. So I need to write the data out up here from smallest to largest. So I've got the number 9, and then you can see George also scored 9. So Brian and George both scored 9. And then the next lowest was Desmond with 11. And then we have Leah with 12. And then we have Harris with 14. So I've written them now from smallest to largest. I need to find the middle value. And then I've got the median. So the middle value would be 11. Why is that the middle value? It's bang in the middle. It's got 2 values to the left and 2 values to the right. It's bang in the middle. We found our middle value. We found our median. The median is 11. And finally, the range. We work the range out by finding the difference between the smallest and largest value. So our smallest value is 9, and our largest value is 14. We just got to find the difference. How do we find the difference? We do 14 subtract 9, okay, which gives us 5. And we're done. Okay, so we have now found the mean, mode, median, and range of the data in the table above. Now, we've got some more data. Now, it's up to you. You can, if you like, pause the video at this point and have a go at doing this yourself, finding the mean, mode, median, and range. However, you might run into a problem. So if you'd rather just keep watching and let me go through this, that's absolutely great. But if you want to pause and have a go yourself, then do that now, because I'm about to go through it. Okay, so we're going to run into a bit of a problem with this one, but I'll tell you when we get there. So let's start off with the mean. We add all the values together and divide by the number of values we have. So we've got 12 plus 8, which is 20, plus 7, which is 27, plus 5, which is 32. So we've added them all together and we get 32. We now need to divide by 4 because we have 4 values, not 5. So 32 divided by 4 gives us 8. Okay, so the mean score, the average mean score is 8. Okay, the first problem that we're going to run into is the mode. Okay, so if you look, we need to find the most common answer. We've got 12, 8, 7, and 5. Which number is the most common? None of them are the most common. They all appear just once. This means that we do not have a mode. We have no mode. Okay, we have no mode. The median, again, we might run into a problem here. We need to arrange them from smallest to largest. So let's do that first. So we've got Stevie got 5, Noah got 7, Matt got 8, and Eric got 12. All right, so I've arranged them from smallest to largest. I now need to identify the middle value, but this is a problem because there isn't a middle value. For example, 7 won't be the middle because it's got 1 value to the left and 2 to the right, so it's not bang in the middle. And likewise, 8 also isn't the middle. It's got 1 value to the right and 2 to the left. So there isn't really a middle. So when we don't have a concrete middle, we find the middle of 2 numbers. Okay, so this space here would be in the middle, wouldn't it? Because it's got 2 values to the left and 2 values to the right. So this is the middle of our data. So we've got to think about, well, what number would come between 7 and 8? Which number is halfway between 7 and 8? And of course, the number between the number halfway between 7 and 8 is 7.5, 7.5. So the median is 7.5. Okay. And finally, the range of the data is the difference between the smallest and largest value. So our smallest value is Stevie's, which is 5. Our largest is Eric's, which is 12. We want to find the difference between 5 and 12. We know how to find the difference. We do the largest subtract the smallest. So 12 subtract 5 gives us 7. And that's our range. Okay, so we're done. That's mean, median, mode, and range. Now, very soon there will be another video relating to averages, because there are, although these questions do come up, there are also likely to be slightly tougher questions where we've got to figure out the data. We're given the mean and then we find out the data, so we do it backwards. We're told what the mean is and then we've got to decide what the data is. So that can be tough, but I won't put it in this video because I don't want to complicate things. So we'll do this one for now, but keep an eye out for that next video. Okay, as usual, there's a worksheet in the description of this video. Please go ahead and do that to make sure that you understand how we do this. It's very important that we can do this. And if you get to the worksheet and struggle, come back to the video, remind yourselves of how you solve each of these different aspects of averages, and then give it another go. Okay, thank you for watching. Goodbye.